Welcome, everyone, to another solo episode here on the Live Your Genius podcast. It's your host, Annalena, and I had something come up for me this week that I feel really called to talk about because it has been a game changer for me to realize this. And I know that many of you may benefit from it so much. So, what is it about? It has a lot to do with opinions. It has a lot to do with what other people are trying to tell you what to do or what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And if you know me by now, I'm very much here to support you to do it your way. Because living your genius for me means that you have the bold courage to do it absolutely freaking your way. Like nobody else can do it like you. You have some very unique gifts and talents to bring out into the world that only you can do. I can't. And nobody can do it like me either, right? And that's beautiful because that also brings so much variety into the world. Now, oftentimes, what I see in the online world is that we see ads that start with, you shouldn't do this, stop doing that, stop doing everything, probably everything that you may be currently doing in your business. And you feel like, oh my God, I do everything wrong. We feel like stupid or like a failure, whatever the word is for you. And then they're presenting us with this one way, how they have been doing their business in a really beautiful way with this one strategy. And then they sell you something for $7 or 25. Doesn't matter what the price is. And you are starting to think, wow, that's not what I have to do, and everything I've been doing is wrong. And hey, in some cases it could be the case, right? But here's what I have noticed. Because I'm a highly sensitive person, I'm highly empathic, I just pick up on things very strongly that I need to protect my energy. And I have noticed for me, Annalena, it is not good to be around people that have a very persuasive way of trying to tell me what I have to do because I'm losing my own self in that. And for me, the most important life skill is to trust myself. And in my business, I have experimented so much over the years that the one thing I can tell you with certainty is that when things worked out really well was when I trusted myself. But when I went into questioning myself and starting to ask all these people that I know, even coaching friends, and look, they mean well. But you know what? Everybody has a different opinion. One person's going to tell you, like, no, you shouldn't do this. That's a limiting money mindset. No, you should do that. And then another person's saying, no, you should do that. And you feel like, oh boy, I have no idea what I'm going to do. And you're so disconnected from your own truth, right? Now, I have also noticed that even though many people are still teaching this, and even some of the mentors I have been working with, they teach you like you need to say all these things like stop doing this and you're doing this wrong and you don't have results because you're doing this and you shouldn't do this. Okay. But I feel that's a lie because, yeah, this may be true to me that it doesn't feel right to post on Instagram, for example. One person may tell you, posting on Instagram is the thing that you have to do to be successful in today's business. And as you scroll on Instagram or on some other social media platform, there may be another person 2 minutes later trying to tell you, Instagram is the worst way to build your business. This is what you have to do instead. Another person might tell you, you really have to write a newsletter every week. Otherwise, how you're gonna build your own list. And in today's social media wilderness where every platform can just disappear overnight, you really have to build your own email list. And another person may tell you, like, stop writing weekly emails. That's the worst thing you can do. Another person may tell you, like, stop recording podcast episodes, but you freaking love to do it. And then you get confused and you stop doing what's in your zone of genius, you know? So I don't want to make people wrong, but I have noticed that type of language is not helping me, it's not serving me in any way or form. And I have just started to clean my feeds and unfollowed all these accounts that speak in this way. And this can be low cost offers or high ticket offers. I have also noticed that. On the flip side, I have also noticed that there are some amazing professionals out there that when they advertise their products and services, the language is much more in integrity for me. I think that's the right word, where they actually clearly say, like, hey, this is how I have built my business. And I have followed these exact steps. And they may even talk about how they did it exactly. But they make it very clear that I'm not here to impose my way onto you. I'm interested to help you tap into your unique way. This is why I'm so freaking passionate about human design and gene keys and infusing astrology into this. Because when I see a human design chart, wow, it's so unique. It's so wildly beautiful. And as I engage with a client and I hear what they are struggling with or what their goals are, I can then intuitively tune into the human design chart and we can figure out what feels right to them. And I'm also always very careful not to tell people, hey, because you're this type in human design, this is what you have to do. It doesn't have to be. Not every manifesting generator is the same. Let me talk to the person. Let me see what they have to say. Let me listen. And then let me respond to see what actually feels right and aligned to that person. And in today's world, it's so beautiful that we have access to so many tech tools, so many different ways of building and growing a business and reaching potentially thousands and millions of people in the world. But there's also a dark side to that. Just like I said, we can fall into trying to do it all and jumping from one thing to another because we get almost brainwashed through very persuasive language, this very black or white thinking, where it's like, stop this, don't do this, you're doing everything wrong, this is what you have to do instead. So if you get easily influenced by that and stop trusting yourself, I recommend you start to protect your energy a little bit more and really feel into a person's energy or a way of marketing and ask yourself, is this really benefiting from me? Is this bringing me closer to my truth? Or if this is actually pulling me away from my unique genius and my unique truth? Because if it's the latter, I would highly recommend you let it go. And again, you can literally play a game where maybe do 20 minutes where you scroll on social media, maybe different kind of platforms, and see all the things that you are told you should do, or all the things that you're doing wrong, and all the things you should stop doing. I think you're going to see what kind of a crazy soup this is. You're probably going to feel as confused as ever, as disconnected from your own truth and your intuition as ever. And you may feel like, I just want to give up. Like, I'm not cut for this, you know? So this is why for me as a entrepreneur, one of my biggest values is that just because something works for me, even with human design, I have learned this many times. It's been life-changing for me. It's magical. It keeps blowing my mind again and again. And it's just getting better, especially with the True Sidereal now. And I know a lot of other people that also resonate with that a lot and have the same experience. But I'm not here to say Unless you look into your human design, you're never going to be successful in your business. That's not right to me. Or you have to stop using astrology now and you only can do human design. Maybe that's not the best example. But the reason why you haven't been getting results is because you have been working with the Enneagram. You have to work with human design, right? It's like, no, I want to share how it has been life-changing for me, which I'm doing. And it's more about creating an open space that feels inviting for people to explore it for themselves. And maybe they also feel this pull to look deeper into this. This is how most of the clients that come to me, that's how they find me because they feel this resonance with this tool. And this is also then how many other people can discover how life-changing it is for them. And there are other people where it's like a heck no. And something completely different works for them. You know, the thing with the truth is what is your truth is not my truth. And I think we have a little bit of this tug of war with opinions going on in the world, where we think that everybody has to agree with us, and we have a really hard time also to be okay with having different views and perspectives. You know, there's one gene key in particular. I invite you to look it up if this is something you're struggling with. It's the 17th gene key, and the shadow is opinion. But we can get so stuck in these opinions, this black or white thinking. You have to do this. You can't do this. This is right. This is wrong. You know, and the frequency of the gift is called farsightedness, where it's this more flexible way of thinking, where you have the capacity to realize, wow, this worked for me and this is amazing and I can share this, but let's not assume that this is now going to be the case for everyone. Yeah, let's put it out there as a possibility. And it may absolutely that the way that you build your business, for example, I love podcasting and I teach other people to podcast. I also feel resonance with this. But again, I'm not going to tell people that podcasting is the only way how you can build a business. I think there's lots of people out there that can be hyper successful without ever having done one single podcast. And there are other people that only published one book. And that's their whole marketing magic sauce. And other people will never publish a book. And then there are people that are going to tell you there's only one right way how you can successfully publish a book because there's this one secret you need to know about. And then you're going to see another person that says, yeah, I just intuitively wrote this book. I didn't follow any rules and it becomes hyper successful. Okay. And with that, what also comes to me is the power of belief. If you believe that somebody else has the answer for you, you're going to keep chasing, you're going to keep buying into these things and get disconnected more from your truth. But if you believe that you have the answers, and that's something I do invite you to explore and play with, that as you trust yourself, your path will unfold in your own unique and very magical way so that your genius can unfold. Because I do think that when we follow too much other people's success recipes, we can go a certain way or have a certain level of success. But oftentimes it's not really in the direction of our most effortless path of our genius. Because when we're operating from our zone of genius, like Gay Hendricks talks about in The Big Leap, it will feel more effortless. You're just doing what you freaking love. And it's this confirmation from the universe, like, yeah, this is the thing I want you to do. Right. And I find that when we lean into this, the universe puts all these beautiful things in front of us that we can then respond to, or we get invited into, that show us also some strategies like writing a book, or maybe the thing is launching a podcast. Maybe for you, it's going to be in-person retreats. There's so many different ways of how we can make impact in the world. And when you follow that and really lean into your own truth, those systems and processes and strategies, they will find you. So I hope this is helpful for you because I have been thinking about this a lot lately and it keeps coming up. And it's because of my own struggles, right? Oftentimes I thought, oh my God, what's wrong with me? I get so easily influenced. And then I have been realizing, you know what? I actually need to talk more about this. And I know every time I do talk about it, people always let me know, like, oh my God, thank you so much for talking about it. Because again, it's not about making other people wrong, but I have to honor what doesn't benefit me. I have to honor what just feels off to me and not right to me, even though some major marketing experts may teach it left and right and have a lot of success with it. That's okay. It doesn't feel right to me, and I want to operate my business in a way that feels in integrity to me. And that may look different to another person, right? Because again, I don't think often people have that intention when they make these very absolute statements of telling people like, stop doing this, or you're doing everything wrong. And I'm going to tell you the one way of how you're going to do everything right. You know, I just don't find that serving really people in a good way. You can still market something like this, but in a way where it's more of an invitation and more about inviting them into the possibility as they feel in their body, if that is an opportunity that feels right to them. Like, again, writing a book, launching a podcast, starting a Substack channel, whatever it is for you, I think you will know. So maybe it's time for you to declutter a little bit in your tech and online space. Because on the flip side, I also have to say that there are some people that I follow, that I read books from, that I listen to on podcasts, that are such a blessing for me because there is this energy of connecting me more to my path, connecting me more to my truth. It feels so much more empowering. But anytime where there's this energy of you should do this and this is what you're doing wrong, I'm like, okay, maybe not so much for me, you know? So let's honor our uniqueness, let's honor our genius, our beauty of being different, of the variety, the quirkiness, and whatever you want to call it that you bring into the world, you know? We want to be different. We want to do it our way. And I think the sooner you stop listening to how you should be doing it, the faster you will step into your unique path and the faster the universe will reward you because it's going to make this happy dance of like, yeah, finally he or she is getting it that the path is within you. You're trusting yourself. You're listening to your own truth. I mean, seriously, that's why I'm doing this work. I want you to trust yourself. Once you trust yourself, I did my job. I'm so happy and grateful. I feel so fulfilled, you know? So I'm going to keep probably sharing this message in many different ways or forms, if that's on my podcast or in what I write and on my social media channels. But I just think it's so, so important. And I would absolutely love to hear what are your biggest takeaways from this short and sweet episode. And I'm very excited to be back with you on the next one. Bye, everyone. May this serve you.